Mm.
Hello? Hello? Who is hailing my ship? Very well, Sir Binimus. What can we do for you? Uh,
Are you sure it's our
r-
ship?
r- yeah, what?
Right. Okay.
Why?
Oh, very well. Very well. So the king wants us. Like,
Well, that says a
um,
lot about you and not about the king.
No, I think it says a lot about them both.
are we expected to like dress up, or can we just come as we are?
I have one coat.
I think this is it. I don't really have any.
Do we need them?
Well, if there's clothes to offer, I am, for one, very grateful to take them because those things are worth a fortune. Oh, have I got law?
Well, I have law.
I also have
Yeah,
law.
do it.
All right. So I'm hitting the law cube and I'm hitting the tick button and it'll sort everything out. Okay, what's this? Wow.
Rolling
Have mine.
blacks. Oh,
Nice.
oh,
All right, I am impressed. But your rolls
So
are a bit low.
yeah, when it works, you coded it, and when it doesn't work, well, don't worry about it.
The other guy. The code that I nicked.
Oh.
Right. Some of the blood diseases. Right.
yeah. Because at least
Con
it's
understands
sensible.
that.
Hmm.
Right.
For
Um,
reasons, Con definitely understands that.
I certainly could use new clothes. Absolutely.
Excellent.
I think I could deal with a second coat. I don't know where I'm gonna put it, but I can probably wear it over the one I've got, right? People?
Rabble, he's thinking.
Hmm.
He's going to be horrified when Margaret comes down, isn't he?
Hmm.
If Dan's nest here.
Here are the specifications for your hat.
Yes. So if you are, would you like? I will send down one of the other pages, and they will take your measurements. But you are summoned to to dinner tonight with the king,
Oh,
and he hands you the piece of
okay.
paper.
All right. We're going for dinner, everyone.
We don't have anything on our schedule, right?
No, nothing at the moment. We were just offloading our cargo and waiting for the tide to turn.
And well,
So
I think
dinner is fine.
I think we should all take very large bags or pockets because we're not going to get
Pocket.
as near a good spread on this ship and on our rations
No.
as we will.
A good point. I agree.
Large pockets. Large pockets.
So, young sir, how big of pockets can we make for this coat?
Uh,
What
um,
foods will be served?
so if she's looking at you, and like you're not actually hiding the conversation from him, so he's now got to mention it. Look, I think you should hear what the king has to say. But I mean, I'll let the page who does the tailoring decide how big your pockets will be. I'm the deliverer of notes. They're the measurer
Not the measurer
of
of
pockets.
people.
Right? You need to understand we've all got very, very important jobs.
Oh yeah,
Yes.
yours sounds very important. Yeah.
jobs.
Look, these notes don't deliver themselves, I'll just point out. We tried that once. We tied it to a pigeon because someone told us that the pigeon would take it where we wanted it to go. And it didn't go there.
Did you train the
Train
pigeon?
it?
Why would we train
they?
the pigeon? It's meant to just go where you point it. That's what they said.
I'm not sure that's how
Yeah.
that works, but I don't know. Maybe in Drinax things are different.
Things are different in Drinax. It is the center of the Kingdom of Drinax. Never forget it.
That is
It's
I like
also
how
the
civilization never
entirety.
came into the sentence.
All right. So, well, if who is taking my note? He's holding this piece of paper.
I'm taking the note. I'm the
Ah.
captain.
Okay,
I'm
awesome.
taking it.
Here, have the note, he says, and he gives you the note with this very special flourish. And like, there's a lot of hand waving, and then there's the ceremonial giving to you of the note, and then he stands there with his hands open.
Thank you for this note from the king. I'll
Do
keep
you
it
have
safe.
a note that I can deliver back to the king?
Well, I'm gonna summon like a crew member to go and grab a bit of old map from my cabin.
Oh, sweet Jesus. I've got a portable writing desk, for God's sake.
Oh God! Well, here we go. Yes,
Just dictate
Lorenzo.
what you want to say. I'll embellish it a little bit.
All right. We
Formally,
gratefully accept the king's most gracious invitation to dinner. And we look
Emperor
forward to
Durax, magnificence of the heavens, blah, blah, blah.
conversation.
Have a good day.
Yeah, and etc., and whatever
Are you
else
drinking?
you're supposed to say to a king.
It's all right. I've got it down.
Very
Okay.
good. Very good.
And I actually do roll it up, and I put a bit of wax on it, and we stamp it, and I give it back to him.
Well, thank you, he says, and he takes the note in a quite ceremonial and sort of moving way, and then says, I shall deliver your note, and also summon the tailor or tailors.
Thank you.
How many of
Yeah,
you will be
we'll
needing
need a
new
few.
clothes?
Define need.
How many of you?
That'll be 5 of us.
Want clothes?
Deal with-
Do you have a milliner?
Of course, we have a milliner.
I should take my own hat, but
Of course, we have a milliner. There are many milliners to be had. I shall summon them in a moment, and then they disappear, surrounded by guards who hut up to the hill. About a half an hour later, 3 nobles bearing cloth and in some cases old coats that are going to be zuzzed up turn up and dress you.
Fair.
Watch where you're touching.
like
This one's got a bullet hole in
let me
it.
swing my
What was going on?
sword.
Yes. Well, I mean, what was going on was people were trying to conquer our city, but we fought them off. They didn't count on how tough our city would be.
I see.
The king has summoned us?
Indeed, the
Why?
king has summoned you. I don't know. I'm the tailor. I don't deliver messages. You probably should have asked the message guy.
The other guy.
Well, we asked him,
The
but he was
bureaucracy.
not really forthcoming, shall we say. He didn't know either.
Oh, that makes sense. The king doesn't share a lot of insight with us.
Have you met the king?
Yes.
Yes?
He's my father's cousin's brother's brother-in-law.
Oh, shit. So you are, like, well connected with the king. Are you, like, second in line?
Oh no.
No?
Maybe 80th.
Third?
Maybe 80th. Wow. Very connected here. So what's he like?
Make a manipulation roll if you want them to tell you the truth. If you just want to live with the things they feel safe. If you want more than what they're willing to tell, what they feel safe to tell you, make a manipulation roll. If you're just happy to hear the king is very wise and very smart, and we love the king.
Oh, no, I want more than that.
Okay, make a insight roll. Actually, not a manipulation roll. Sorry,
Oh,
an insight roll.
Insight?
Yeah.
Ah, okay. That's slightly worse, but okay. All right. Let's see.
Nice.
Slightly worse, 7 dice.
Yeah.
I'm
You're
okay with
very
that.
good at empathy or talking to people. You're
Mhm.
very good at grace. Well, and while they're making your coat for you, they get chatting. So the king is incredibly overweight.
Okay.
He's reasonably well known for being quite the gourmand. So likes his food, likes his drink, likes a good party. Generally not considered very smart.
Okay.
Like so. Oh well, I mean, there was that infamous incident, and but wants to revive the kind of the fortunes of Drinax.
Of course. As anyone would.
Yeah. And his chief advisor is his daughter. Right.
Ah, okay. Interesting.
Yes. Well, his son suffered a horrible injury about 3 years ago.
Mm.
In defense of the kingdom, of course.
Well, actually, technically in the conquest of another kingdom, but look, defense, conquest, I mean, really synonymous.
It was a
of course.
border expansion.
Yes. So, if you are still on the map, this little bit of half of this island is controlled by Drinax. They didn't have enough food, and they couldn't persuade these people to sell them food, so they conquered them. But in the process, the son took a terrible wound in the process. But yes, but Lady Rao, as she is known, or Princess Rao, is known to be very smart, very astute.
Okay. Rao is an R-O-W?
Rao.
R-A-O.
Rao.
Princess Rao. Okay.
Interesting. In matters of battle or just everything?
Well, I mean, she is. They look at you as they say this. Of course, I mean, those are the. No, actually, you know what? We're just going to stop now. No, look, very wise in all forms of conflict. No debate whatsoever. Very wise, capable of great feats of wisdom and genius. She wouldn't have assaulted the island. One of them whispers to the other.
She
Well,
is a princess after all.
She is.
In my experience, a group that keeps saying that they are wise or led by a wise figure is always telling the truth and not just trying to make it true by repeating it. So we are honored to get to meet someone so wise.
Indeed. Of course, you are correct. We would never do anything other than tell the truth. I'm so glad that you realise. Brings joy to my heart. The truth is, of course, that the wisdom of the royal house is what's kept us alive these 50 years since we lost our kingdom. But the king has been, suggesting that new times are just around the corner.
And what
They
would
always
these
are.
new times entail?
He doesn't tell us. We're the tailors.
You know what? That is very fair and just and wise.
Yeah, because he keeps on saying we can only be trusted with thread and needle. Really,
And you do a wonderful job, a magnificent job with thread and needle. Look at this.
it is
I have never had a coat so fine as this.
excellent. They say. How they have patched up an old coat, basically, but pretty much the level of new coat goodness that you have.
Oh, it's still the truth, though.
Yeah, no, it's probably 100% back it in. Okay, I like it. Yeah, actually, this is the best coat I've ever owned.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Winning. All right, and they do have a milliner, but the milliner points out that hats take a while. There's the steaming and the not steaming and the steaming again and the. I actually know someone who used to be a milliner. It's very weird. That's a small side note. So they make hats, but it's going to take a while. But they could zuzz up your hat. Would you like more feathers?
Yes.
Okay, they can definitely do more feathers. Some of these feathers are quite old. Almost like 50, 60 years old even. Just picking a date out of my, off the top of my head. All right, so by the end of the dressing moment, they shuffle off, and about an hour later, the same guards that you saw earlier have marched down. This time with a different noble, because this is not a note delivering situation. This is an escorting situation, which of course is a different role within the court.
Of course.
Does the inbreeding make them look similar?
It's only been 50 years.
Yeah, it's only 2 or 3 generations, right? Just work. Just
Yeah,
work.
give it another decade.
Yeah.
They've just got to find a job for everybody. So there's going to be the person who's responsible for wiping the royal bottom and the one for handing over the paper for the royal bottom.
It's the new deal.
Eventually, it'll be 7 people involved in the toilet experience of the king. This is true.
Yeah, exactly.
Got to keep those people.
Well, at least we'll figure out where that message went.
Yes. Exactly. All right, you're escorted up the hill. I should point out the palace itself is quite impressive. Like, it is the sort of remnant of the sort of, there was a kingdom here once that was kind of harvesting tax income from the 2 empires that were moving their trade goods through its territory. It was actually able to accumulate vast amounts of wealth, most of which went into building a giant granite and kind of basalt sort of fortress that actually proved to be a reasonably good investment, because it's still here and the people who hid inside it are still here too. So that worked. Unfortunately, it didn't do much for anyone else, but it did do good for those people who were inside that place.
Yeah.
Okay, you're marched up the hill.
So it must have been a very interesting mix of trades left. Not very many
Well, you haven't
trades
seen
people, I'm
anyone
assuming.
actually doing any agriculture. As an example of maybe one of the trades that didn't get back up into the hill. Why would we need people to grow food? That would be stupid. We're all nobles. We won't need one of them, will we?
Mm.
All right. So you
And
find
we are very hungry.
you find yourselves in the Imperial Court. The King's Court. So the court itself is beautiful. Everything is old though. Like the banners are old, the platters are old, the tables are old. Everything is old and kind of beaten. Nothing's really been renewed. You're sort of ushered into this very long dining table. It's the classic, you guys all sit down one end of the table, he sits down the other end of the table, and you wave at each other, but aren't actually able to communicate for most of the meal because there's enough space that it is difficult to be heard. You know, pictures of Putin at one end of the table, people at the other end. We've all seen it recently. He's gigantic, though. He is a very big man in all.
So we're talking Prince of Wales, as in Whales from history.
Yeah.
Mm.
Yeah. But, you know, eventually he's like, this is ridiculous. And stands up and comes down to greet you all. Greetings! Here you are nautically inclined.
Yes, we have
And
a
we
boat.
specialise in
She
economic
has a boat.
Your
redistribution.
Majesty.
Yes, you have a ship even, I hear.
It's a
Yes,
lovely
we
ship.
do. Very fine trading vessel that she is.
Indeed. A very fine trading vessel, which is why it's... by the way, because you're actually running a pirate ship, you have like 90 crew.
Mm-hmm.
Because you have enough crew to man all of your guns. And aboard other ships. So it's not a little ship with, like... It's not a little ship with 7 people. There's 90 crew and you're basically the command crew of the ship.
Yeah.
So, yes, a trading vessel. That's right. That's what I hear. I think it's even in the name of the ship, isn't it?
You are quite correct, Your Majesty. Our ship is the Honest Trader, and I am the captain.
Excellent. And I understand that in trading, you are frequently finding yourself in possession of salvage.
Oh, yes. You just wouldn't believe how much stuff just ends up washed up on islands around here.
Yes, I just wouldn't believe it. So, so you are, of course, given to collecting salvage, one assumes, then.
Oh, yes. Yes, we collect it up off those beaches.
Yes.
Yes.
And flotsam. Don't forget flotsam.
Oh, yes, sometimes you do find it floating in the water, yes. And, like, you wouldn't want anything to go to waste, so we just kind of fish it up.
Right.
Of course.
So, here's the thing. I'm in the market for a salvage acquisition ship.
Yes. Yes? I hear your majesty.
Yes, I'm looking for people who focus on the recovery of salvage.
And that's very interesting, your majesty. And what are you hoping to do with this?
Well, so here's so a couple of things. So I understand that it is often helpful if you need to dispose of salvage to have a harbour that will always take your salvage.
Yes, it is always very helpful, so that we do not have to sail to multiple places to sell our cargo.
Because
Does make the crew rather unhappy when we can't pay them.
yes, and I imagine if in many harbours, eventually, if you're constantly selling salvage that you happen to find on beaches or as flotsam, they get to a point where they start to ask you questions like, wow, you've found a lot of salvage recently. How ever did that happen?
Yeah, I think there might be a problem with sea monsters.
Yes.
Great thief of the depths.
Yes. Yes, that is very likely. What you need is a port that would just say it must be those damn sea monsters and not ask you a whole stack of complicated questions about why your salvage has the stamp of the Imperial Company of the Federated Territories, as an example.
That
You're
would
not
be very
wrong.
helpful, Your Majesty.
So,
You've been...
and the thing is, you may have noticed, we don't have a lot of people who are correctly skilled to go out and accumulate salvage and deal with things outside of the kingdom.
Yes,
So,
you do a good line in note delivery and escorting, and I see.
yes, we've got that covered. What we don't have covered,
Yeah.
for instance, is sailing off in a ship and acquiring
Coming back.
salvage and coming back.
Yeah.
Yeah, we don't have a
Yes.
lot of navigating skills either.
No. It's very unfortunate for living on an island, isn't it?
Yes, it's not optimal. No, it's not optimal to not have anyone who's really a good sailor. So,
That Your Majesty, we could help you here, couldn't we? Like,
you could, and what I'm wondering. So, look, perhaps we could we potentially dispense with all the complex language for just a second? I mean, if you want to keep on talking in euphemisms, I'm happy to do so. But I'm just wondering if we might be able to have a short, quick conversation just between us, adults, as it were.
Very well. Go
Right.
ahead.
So we have an idea. So right now, piracy, whilst reasonably common in what used to be the Kingdom of Drinax, tends to avoid going after the kind of the big trade convoys that go between the Irate and the Federated Territories. And that's because one ship by itself is not really, equipped to take on a convoy.
That is true.
Now, just imagine a scenario where, say, piracy became reasonably common and started to impact on the trade between the great imperial powers. And then, say, someone turned up and said, you know what? Because neither of you can really afford to send your fleets in here to hunt the pirates in great numbers because you might accidentally run into each other, and that might be bad because two fleets running into each other in this territory could result in unfortunate conflict. But say another group turned up and said, I tell you what, I reckon I could take care of that pirating problem for you. And all you would need to do is agree to support the foundation or the return of the kingdom that used to manage all of that and make sure that didn't get out of hand. Just say. So first of all, there'd
Just
need to be
saying.
a pirating problem. Then there would need to be a way of me evidencing that I could deal with the pirates. Say I needed a number of ships under the control of a privateer pirate hunter, recently rebadged. Then maybe I could convince the Imperial powers that they should be supporting, my attempts to bring all of the little kingdoms back together under Drinax, because it would be sensible to them to have that kind of you deal with the piracy, we'll keep on trading with each other thing. Just saying. Just saying.
Just saying.
Just saying.
So
Yes.
it's about creating a problem to which you have the solution.
Yes. Now, the trick of this is to not make it such a problem that they decide they'll fix it. It's got to be just enough of a problem that they don't think it's worth, that it's really very annoying to them, but not such a problem that they decide they have to fix it themselves. It's a very fine line we're talking about here. There's a very fine line between those two statements.
Quite a delicate balance.
Yes.
So, is Your Majesty thinking that we will be the problem, the solution, or both?
Well, I've been waiting for a ship with just the right type of crew. So a lot of pirate ships don't have a lot of educated people on them. But this job is going to require a degree of thoughtfulness, let's say. Judgment calls and abilities to work with others and the ability to also operate not just as kind of pirates, but also as people who might be the right sort of people to send to other small kingdoms and persuade them that they should be thinking more positively about my kingdom and the offers of protection that I could make from pirates that they might meet.
From pirates?
In the ocean.
Of course.
I thought we were dispensing with the
euphemisms.
childish talk.
Yeah.
You're speaking extortion, yes?
No, I actually want diplomacy.
Convincing others that they need our protection at cannon point is extortion.
Look,
I'm not against it. It's what it is.
well, right now, I just want to make the point that there are other pirates raiding these towns and cities, not just us. Because remember how I said piracy was reasonably rife in the islands, but not really focused on the Imperial convoys? So guess what they are focused on? Picking over the bits
little
and pieces of the towns that are left and taking what they can and making their own way. It's not high grade. It's not your high grade piracy. We're not talking high grade piracy here. We're talking low rent.
No.
Of course.
I've got a problem with low rent pirates. There you go. I'm just going to admit it now. That's my challenge.
We're low rent pirates.
Piracy.
No, you're privateers. Because you'll have a letter of the mark that says that you're allowed to hunt pirates. If you should happen to find yourself in the ocean and there was a ship that you encountered that had flag and you had the right flags and didn't wave your letter of the mark around as you attacked them, that would be fine too. Because that might be what I want you to do with the Imperial powers when you hit them. So, for all of this to work, I need just the right kind of people. I need people who are reasonably smart. I need people with a ship. I need people who know how to sail. I need people who could build something bigger than themselves, like more than one ship. And I need people who can do both sides of the coin, who can hunt down pirates and also perhaps hunt fat merchants.
Well, I have to say that I've always dreamed of more than being just a captain of a ship.
How about pirate queen.
Commodore.
Or Commodore.
Pirate
Commodore,
queen
right.
would be
Bloody
better.
Commodore.
Then Admiral.
Well, I mean, look, if they being the Imperial powers, I mean, if we can get them over the line on this, the sky's the limit. Why not Admiral? Why stop at Commodore?
Well, yes. But Admiral of whose navy? Yours?
Yes.
The
Yes. Well, of course. Eventually it would become the Drinax Royal Navy.
legitimate job for a privateer, Captain.
Well, it could be a good retirement plan.
One step at a
I
time. We've
cannot
got to
sail
survive
the
this.
seven seas and live the life of adventure forever. Although I want to.
Perhaps that's a number of sometime in the future problem as opposed to a now problem.
Yes, for now. So you're saying you'd like us to go and hunt some pirates who are preying upon small towns. Very low kind of behavior. I can get that. And then perhaps engage in a little bit of piracy of our own against the Imperials, those fat ships sailing across the seas. Oh, if we could somehow get enough ships together to take out one of those big merchanters. My goodness.
I mean, imagine the wealth.
Profit.
That's right.
Yeah.
And the good news is, if you're selling your goods here in Drinax, you'll only have to give me. What's my cut again? It's written down here. I wrote it down.
Is this going to be the Spanish cut?
No, it's the Castilian cut.
Because one fifth went back to Spain for all expeditions.
Division of spoils. No, it's only 10%.
Ah,
He only wants 10% of
Now,
of whatever you make.
when we talk about the exchange of these goods,
Yeah.
are you going to pay us in gold?
Well, I can pay you. Well, once we.
We certainly don't want it in coats.
no.
I can pay you in coin and gems. And obviously, the intention here would be that we start selling the goods and then bringing in more trade, which we can then use to generate actual money, which I'm very happy to spend. You guys know that your usual sort of return. Yeah. Just let me check this statement. I've got it written down here. Yeah, that's what I thought. That at best you'll get 30% of the value of the cargo. At absolute best. So, yeah. You need to take a fair amount of cash to... I mean, one of those big trade convoys, though, they just chockers with goods. But Drinax itself would probably need to be bigger to consume that kind of drop-off, that kind of size of trade.
Yeah.
Right. So basically, our
we'll be
aim
able
is
to do
to
that,
build the wealth of Drinax further so that we can get paid more from the hauls that we are getting that are gradually getting bigger and bigger.
Yeah.
That are going to Dranax. Yeah.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Yeah. It is possible Drinax does pretty well out of this deal. Yes. That. By the way, you're all beginning to think that the rumors of King Oleg's stupidity might be vastly overstated.
I was going to say, I'm kind of looking for the daughter in all this.
Yes.
Like, do we see her in the room? Is she... Where
No.
is she? No.
No.
Okay, interesting. All right. Hmm. Okay.
Well, Your Majesty, this is a very interesting proposal that you are making. I think I need to discuss this with my crew.
By all means. But would you like to return tomorrow with your decision?
Absolutely. We shall see you upon the morrow then.
Of course. Would you like rooms? In the palace, I mean.
Or feel best for returning to our ship. It's where we feel most at home.
Oh, okay. Well, I, of course, understand completely. Perhaps you should go back to your ship. All right, you're all escorted out of the palace and taken down to your ship.
Yeah. I've stuffed my pockets.
Mhm. Yeah, there's a couple of bottles of wine that have wandered out as well.
Breadstick, as you take out the long breadstick, a meter long.
Lifting it from the jacket.
Maybe some of the silverware.
All right, so you guys are on the ship.
Right.
All right. What do we think? Crew, do we want to? Well, it's going to be easy profits for us and save us a lot of time not having to sail around different ports trying to offload cargo. What else can we push him for?
Yeah, it does seem like they're offering legitimacy for what we're already doing, so
Yeah.
it's not the worst offer. I just I wonder what the catch is.
Well, the catch is, it's not a big kingdom. Like, they're just trying to build their army.
He
That is
doesn't need to
true.
leave his island.
Yeah.
We're taking all
we
the
can
risk.
look over there and see the entirety of their navy is two small ships, whatever it is.
And the catch, of course, being if we are caught by the Empire or the Federation, it's our heads on the pikes.
Yeah, they can just deny it. Who's going to actually listen to them?
That's right. We caught these pirates raiding in your area. Oh, yeah, we know all about that. There are pirates in our area. Yes. Glad you could do something about it.
Well, but then we could sell the kingdom out. We would have the letter. Oh, don't say it's a forgery. You're right.
Yes, yes.
I did think about the idea of escorting, once the piracy picks up in the area, of escorting the ships through for money.
In fact, it'd be a shame if there was a fire in this shop. To quote, I think the references to extortion earlier on. Be a real shame if fires broke out in the shop. Perhaps you should pay the local fire department money to make sure that fires don't start. That one.
Exactly.
I mean,
it's a protection racket.
It's as old as fire departments.
It is as old as fire departments. That's right. I think it's Roman
All
fire
right, well, I've
departments.
got nothing better to do.
Well, I think it could be interesting to see what this king without a kingdom can actually manage.
And
perhaps we should just take to just test it out and see if we think this will work. Perhaps we can undertake a few trial missions or for the king.
And if we can convince some of our brethren to join us in raiding one of the convoys.
Yeah.
Who says that we need to give the proceeds to the king? There would be other interested buyers.
It's not like their navy could chase us down.
Mm.
Exactly.
Harsh but fair. Harsh but fair.
Very
Excellent.
well. So, shall we agree to the king's terms for, say, a period of time, or to complete a number of sales and before we make a decision about making it more permanent? As
I like
permanent
the
as we
idea of
might
it
even want
not
it to
being
be.
permanent yet.
Yeah.
Okay. So next day, just to slip it forward. So next day, you're
Yeah.
escorted back up. You meet the second cousin of the first escorting person, who's also an escorting person. They take you up to the castle. The king is there, waiting for you in the room by himself, giant room. Yes, what can I? Oh, good. Yes, it's you. Excellent. What is your decision, Captain?
Well, we are very interested in the proposal that you have given to us, Your Majesty. However, folk who make their lives upon the seas can be as fickle as the waves. And
Yes.
so we find it hard to tie ourselves entirely to anything. We don't wish this to be a permanent understanding at this point, but thought perhaps we could agree to a set number of sales of goods to you, and then decide from there after that what we wanted to do.
But I'm going to give you a letter of the mark. Like,
Mm.
I don't understand your suggestion. Are you saying that I can't have confidence that you will stay the course?
I think
We
it's
don't know
more.
what the course will be.
I think it is more like we might find ourselves unsuited as business partners.
That too.
That would be a terrible shame. I mean, you would have signed up, you would have my letter of mark. I mean, can only imagine what terrible things might occur. But sure, I guess so, if you're willing to take that risk.
Wow, yes, we are taking rather a lot of risk.
Yes, I imagine you are. I mean, it's not like you're already pirates or something like that.
We, sir, are salvagers.
Yes!
Yes.
Finding lots of stuff just washed up on oceans.
Floating.
Mm.
Floating on the waves.
The sea is very treacherous, Your Highness.
Well, perhaps we can agree then that to start with, perhaps I can give you a small job, if you will, just to test out the relationship.
Well, that does seem a very wise thing, Your Majesty.
All right. Well, as it so happens, I have one. But I don't know the details. It's not really my thing. I'll get Rao to talk to you about them.
Rao? You mean the Princess Rao?
Well, yes. But I think you need to understand there's at least 25 princesses in here. So I've just... Yeah, it's all very complicated. But the
Is
lady...
this palace in like a Disney shape?
Kinda, yeah. As in, kind of Bavarian style dream castle.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that one.
full of princesses.
Yeah.
Okay.
I might go see that castle next year. Anyway, I don't know why. Alex wants to see it. It's good enough reason. So yes, I'll let my daughter explain the details. so let's just see how this works out. So I'll leave now and get my daughter to come and talk to you. So he sort of shuffles out of the room, and coming in quite quickly afterwards is a much younger person. Not beautiful, but like clearly very driven. So it's kind of, they give a very clear sense that this is a person with a purpose, in a way that the king certainly does not. Although, as you've now realised, he's far smarter than he appears. Anyway, the Lady Rao walks in. She takes one look at all of you and goes, you must be my father's planned compatriots.
Yeah.
Excellent.
Yes, my lady.
Very good to hear. Did he explain anything about what we need you to do?
Only in the most general terms, but he said he had a specific job for us to do, and that you would explain it to us.
Yes. So, okay, so it's very simple. There are two nearby city-states, for want of better language. The first of those is Harley, which is ruled by the Psychopomps. They used to be part of it's actually the religious center of the Old Kingdom. They practice a particularly obscure form of death worship. I can't really explain it because I think if you're not a member of the cult, it does lose something in the translation. But they have a fundamental belief that their death god will eventually raise everyone from the dead if their bodies are intact. The more important point, though, is they have recently been raided by some pirate who raided the city and apparently, in the process, injured a number of people to the point where they couldn't be correctly stored whole. And so the Psychopomps are quite angry about it because they'll come back not properly. They won't come back, or they'll come back damaged. And the second group are the Torpal administration, which is over where we have some land. They're more that we've actually been able to make some peace with them, and they're very interested in trade. So they facilitate the trade route, and they have a lot of connections around. Now, if we were able to find out who had raided the two towns and hunt them down, that would actually be of significant value to us, because then they would have a more positive, view of us. They might have a more positive view of you. So one thing about the mechanics of the system that I'm using is the more positive, or the better the reputation you have in a town, the easier it is for you to operate out of that town as an additional haven. And you actually get paid more money for your cargo and those sorts of things. And you're less likely to be stopped by naval ships. So there is a point in you guys building havens, like places that think of you positively. So we were going to hire you to go to these locations, find out who had been the pirates, hunt them down, and preferably return with them dead or alive, but with the clear intent that you would actually have captured the people who'd undertaken the raid. you can, of course, sell any goods that you recover from the raid because, what we don't... Well, I mean, completely up to you. You can return the goods to the people they were stolen from, or you can bring the goods to us and allow us to dispose of them on your behalf.
Yeah, very well. And is that our payment for undertaking this task solely
No.
we can gain?
We will also cover the cost of your ship's operations for the duration, in addition to being willing to operate as a clearinghouse for the sale of any goods you recover, including possibly a ship, because whoever did the raid would have a ship.
Yep.
And ships are good money. So the average brigantine, which is what you guys are sailing, is about 9,000 guilders, give or take. So if your operating costs are sort of in the order of about 700 guilders a month. So obviously, if you can sell the value of a ship, you get 3 months operating budget just by selling the ship, not including its cargo. You can also just keep the ship, and now you have 2 ships, and you can find crew for it and that sort of thing.
Yeah. Very well. We accept. We will undertake this mission to determine who raided these islands and to bring them to justice.
Excellent. Well, up to you where you go first. I'll leave it with you then. But yes, the intent here is to return with the pirates. We're sure that... I should point out we can probably get a reward for the pirate, particularly if they're brought back alive. So there's also money in bringing back the pirate alive if you can acquire them.
Yeah.
Excellent.
All right.
Awesome. Well, I will see you when you return. I don't think we need talk any further. Is that correct?
No, and I look out the window. If we hurry, we should make it back to our ship before the tide goes out.
Excellent. Sounds very wise, very nautical. I understand that's what you're very skilled at, so I'll take your word for it.
Yeah.
Awesome.
All right. So we will run down to the docks.
Excellent. Okay, you're all at the docks.
I'm running up the gangplank and calling orders out left, right, center to all the crew. Get everybody moving.
By the way, as you're running down,
Who's our navigator?
I should point one thing out. You see guards and horses, for that matter, dragging 2 very large cannons back up the road.
Okay.
And these are big guns. These are like 24-pound cannons. These are big guns.
So if we'd said no, we would have been in a situation. Okay.
Well, the king had just basically told you that he wanted to, in effect, pay people to raid the 2 imperial powers, and he had a whole cunning plan. Yeah, he probably didn't intend for you to sail out of the harbour if you hadn't signed up. No, he probably had other thoughts about how that should end. But I'll leave you guys to work out what that might or might not have looked like, because we never got there, so we don't have to work that out ourselves.
Sorry.
It's not too late to change our minds.
That's right, and find out. But you see them dragging the cannons back up the hill to the fort.
Good. Right.
All right, so the navigator of your ship needs to have... sorry, I wrote your character sheet, so I should know, but just give me 1 second, I'll get the skills up. It's actually scouting skill.
Nope.
Not me.
Okay,
That would be
technically
me.
I've got 1.
I have 2.
All right.
But don't
So
forget,
I
it's the
guess-
combination of your prudence and scouting, right? So it's not just scouting skill.
Oh, okay.
It's the combination of the two that gives you your dice pool. So very high stat
Yeah.
with a low skill actually works quite well.
Yeah.
3.
Yeah, so that gives me 5.
Yeah, I've got 5.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've got 6, but also
Damn.
I'm not sure if that's a role that Con would take without being instructed to.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But they're more of a
So,
below deck sort of person.
is that Dominique? Shall you be our navigator?
Oh, of course I could try. I might as well.
Well,
Now
get us
the good news is you're sailing to pretty well known places. So you can use
Mhm.
maps and charts and other things to assist you in your role, which means you will get 2 bonus die if you're just sailing to a pretty well known place.
Okay. Yeah. Let's go ahead and try that. So 2 bonus.
Yep.
Okay.
So you should put 2 in the little bonus die thing. There you go. And you didn't
All right.
fail. So
Thank goodness.
all right, so you guys jump onto the ship. Now it's you guys got a brigantine, so it's got lots of sail. You got a giant crew. You've got I think you've just got a single row of cannons, but you're mostly packing reasonably decent, although not sort of big ships of war kind of cannery. So it's a scouting role to find your way. Just so you're aware, it's still just a move roll if you have to pilot specifically in combat. So you roll move because you're at the back end kind of flinging around. It's battle to make the fundamental decisions about what the ship does in combat, if that's what you need to do. You've got survival skill, which is all about weathering big storms and other things. So knowing what to do in big storms is kind of survival skill rolling. So just to give you a sense of how the dice pools work when you're actually sailing. So as you sail out, storm, kind of gathers around you, and it's just raining. It's just raining really heavily as you sail out. So no one's particularly happy to be out on the deck raising sails. It's not a lot of fun out there. But it's reasonably warm. It's 20 degrees, so it's not terrible. And you find yourself sailing out of Drinax Harbour, heading north towards Arley, which is up there, the psychopomps.
Yeah.
We won't worry. Each of these hexes is a. Actually, I've got the rule. I can tell you exactly how far it is. I think I made it. Oops. Yeah, it's about 35 miles per hex, I think.
Right.
So you've got 70 odd miles of sailing, which isn't very much actually, not really. So it takes you most of a day to get to Arley. You're sailing into. I've just got to find the right map. Not that one. Yeah, there it is. Cool. Activate. Okay. So you're sailing into Harley. This is a much more populated town than Drinax. There's a kind of big temple in the middle, which is in the form of a giant black pyramid, just to give you a sense of, what they go for. It's surrounded by walls. There's docks all around the front. Most of the docks, however, are taken up with what look like fishing boats and fishing vessels. There's a couple of small kind of trading ships, but they're quite small, actually small compared to you, and don't look particularly well equipped for military activity. You can see that the town, which once again was probably burnt to the ground about 50 years ago, has kind of built up in a kind of really ramshackle way. So there's like effectively slums everywhere. The big thing that you also note is all around the outside of the town are graveyards. And they're quite clearly graveyards. There's lots of headstones and things like that there. But there just seems to be lots of them. So people must be bringing their dead here, is your assumption, because the size of the graveyards far outweighs the number of people in the town. What do you want to do? Do you want to just sail up and kind of moor the ship on the jetty and kind of hop down? What's your plan?
I think definitely getting out the spyglass, and we are coming into the harbour to see, is anybody pointing guns at us, like cannon from...
Not particularly, although you do see a lot of people running down to the docks in very black kind of robes and things. There are definitely people with muskets and other things there as well. So they're there's a forming militia is probably what it looks like to you guys. It doesn't look like a proper military force, but they're all wearing kind of various flavors of black clothing. But yeah.
Yeah. So they definitely think that we are pirates, because we are. They're not necessarily going to be happy to see us.
By the way, if any of you who have a pretty decent law skill wanted to make a law skill roll, I can tell you a few things about the psychopomps of Harley.
Sure, why not?
Sounds like a good band name, the Psychopomps of Harley.
I know. And I've just finished running a Yellow King based module, so Harley's deep in my heart at the moment.
Oh, that's where I've heard it before. Okay,
Yeah.
cool.
Yeah.
That was bothering me.
Yeah. All right. So no, you don't know much about them. They're weird. That's probably what you know. Is they're weird.
Can I
They're
have a go?
fundamentally weird people.
You can have a go.
Yeah.
Fundamentally weird people. Just weird. That's what you know.
Yeah, just weirdos. What a bunch of weirdos they are.
They're kind of famous for being weird as fuck. But other than that, you don't know a lot about them.
You get their robes so black.
Yeah, exactly.
Normally
Where's that come
Kind of
from?
ends up as a purple or a green.
Yeah, straight up black.
Wow.
They don't look massively hostile. They look more scared, to be upfront.
Yeah.
Because you've got like a ship packed with people who, to be brutal, kill people for money. They are a bunch of basically farmers and whatever other trades with muskets. It's not actually that even a fight.
There's a fair few more of them than us, though.
Sure.
No, and
Yeah.
they've been sent to their aid, so we need to be friendly and wave and say, "Hello, we've been sent by the King of Drinax to assist you with your pirate problem."
Come on, you're gonna
Drinax.
Kingdom
Drinax.
names.
Gosh,
Kingdom names.
can't even get a name right.
Wow.
We've been sent by the
You guys
fat
are hopeless
dude.
at the diplomacy thing, which built up all this goodwill for the Kingdom of Drinax. There is no Kingdom of Drinax. All right. It's not a good start. All right, so you rock up. They're all sort of forming up. What do you want to do? Are you taking the what we need to do is wave at them strategy? What's the plan?
Yeah. So I shall call down from the ship.
Yeah.
Who is your captain?
One of the people in the crowd of militia steps forward. They're clearly not like the other. Like they're very serious and austere. They've got a large sort of backpack on them, and they've got a big tubular thing attached to the backpack, which is kind of hanging from their front. I speak for our people. Who are you?
Very good, very good. I am Captain Angelique. This is my ship, the Honest Trader. I sense that you are somewhat weary of our presence here, but I assure you we mean no harm to you or your people. Although we might look like pirates, we are in fact not pirates. We are pirate hunters.
Ah, I see. This is good. We have a need for pirate hunters. I am Keeper Malos.
This is Keeper Melos. This is what we have heard. We have heard that your town has been raided and badly affected by pirates.
This is true.
If you will allow myself and my crew to come ashore, we would like to speak with you about what happened.
Yep, you may land and you may bring your officers, but I must ask that none of the rest of you touch our soil. There are too many of you who are not believers. You would pollute our land.
I
sorry.
see.
Others have already polluted
But you
it.
could,
We're sanctifying them.
but you have taverns here which can send food and drink to my men upon the ship, my crew upon the ship.
We have eateries that serve that purpose, to keep the body hale and full until it appropriately is stored.
Well then, the crew shall not complain about being kept aboard ship for the time we're here.
Well, of course they
Lower
won't
the
complain.
gangplank!
It is the right thing to do. They cannot touch our soil. They would pollute it.
Yes, they don't really care about the right thing to do. They care about rum.
Yes, well, it damages the body and makes it less clean. We don't drink.
Lord, we're going to have to tap our own stores, aren't we? Very well, lower the gangplank. We're coming ashore.
Yes, you may enter.
Can we come down?
There seem to be quite a few of you. Is this all of you who are coming? Sure.
Yeah, well, these are the officers of my ship. The crew
Counts you
will
up.
stay aboard.
Gestures to one of the people. We will need more salt. Person goes away, comes back with a large container which has a pump attached to it and a spray.
Okay.
Can't you just use
what's that?
salty water in the
Yeah, mate.
rather than
Yeah.
making your own salty water?
No,
Haven't we already
we
been
have
bathed
to
in it?
clean out the impurities. This is a saline solution
Away.
intended to keep you clean while you're here.
Okay.
Well, you might have a phage or some flesh-destroying thing. You might break one of our bodies in some disease-ridden way. You might be carriers of fungi. I don't know. We will bathe you. We must insist that you are appropriately washed.
I can assure you that the crew of our ship is kept in perfect health. I make sure to that.
I'm sure you believe that what you do is appropriate and necessary. However,
And
you have not read the
I'm
sacred texts.
Do you have
I'm
visitor
sure your
robes?
salts would be the perfect cure to what ails everyone, certainly.
Yes, exactly. Our God has given us the commands. We know what we must do. And they're spraying you while they say this. There's this guy with the giant pump pumping on the thing, and then...
My eyes! The goggles give you nothing.
There are no goggles, and that's the first problem. Yeah, so you're sprayed with the water, and Keeper Malos is standing there watching you. Now that we have appropriately cleansed you, you may step off the jetty and touch our land.
Oh,
So kind.
wonderful.
People,
Thank
we
you.
must thank the Lord that these people have agreed to be cleansed. Sing the prayer of thanks and they're all singing while you step off the jetty onto the land. You're beginning to understand why the only thing everyone ever says about Hull is it's full of really weird people. They're just fucking weird.
It
Yep.
seems like they don't make it off the boat normally.
Most people don't get off the boat. Most people don't bring their boats here.
Fair.
Yeah.
So, I am pleased that you have entered our sacred lands. Because I imagine you have little time and you desire to hunt the pirates, and we desire for you to hunt the pirates, shall I just take you directly to where they raided?
Yes, that would be good.
Do you need sustenance for your bodies?
No, we ain't on the
That
ship.
is a trick question.
Yeah, we ain't on the ship.
I'm
That's
like,
fine.
I don't think their food's going to be much fun.
No.
Oh, fucking raisin bran.
Without milk. Without milk.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, it's just water.
Dry.
It's just
Dry.
water.
Water.
Oh god, that's so much worse.
So much worse. All right. Yes.
All right.
Follow me. And he guides you down the beach towards one of the graveyards. What you see as you approach the graveyard is it's actually, unlike a number of the others, there seems to be some sort of digging activity here. Yes, we should explain. A number of holy relics were buried during the assault. We are recovering them so that they might be appropriately displayed in the temple. The pirates arrived, attacked this place, and stole a number of our most sacred relics.
Oh no. That's terrible.
Yes.
Before or after you hid them?
Well, no, they were hidden 50 years ago during the Great Raid. We are recovering them from the ground in which they were interred by previous keepers.
So,
We don't like to dwell on the inappropriate use of the graves for storage as opposed to hold the bodies in an appropriate way.
So the pirates came and dug things up out of this graveyard?
No, a number of things had been dug up. They stole them.
Oh, so you were in
All
the
the pirates
process of
arrived.
digging things out of the graveyard and putting them on display, and the pirates came and stole those ones that you've already dug up?
Yes. It was most grievous.
And you saw
And
them do
how?
all this.
Oh, unfortunately, the people who were laboring here were killed. Brutally slain. To the point where their
But you
bodies...
saw them arrive in their ship, get off.
They came at night. We're not paying... We were not out. We were in the temple.
Right.
But they
How
attacked
did
and
they
slew.
know?
I don't know the answer to that question. It is a good question that you ask, sir. I mean, it is unthinkable that one of our people would have betrayed us, so therefore I can only assume some passing ship gave away our secret.
And if they knew, why did they not wait until they were all dug up?
You ask most difficult questions. I have respect for you. Have you thought about shriving your body so that it might be appropriately stored?
I have considered it. It is not high on my list of priorities, I must admit.
I fear for you. It sounds like you're going to allow your body to fall apart over time. You must not allow this to happen.
I assure you my body is in good hands, namely my own.
I see. Yes. You are an outsider. I understand you believe that you are doing enough, but I can assure you, you probably aren't.
I will take that under advisement. Thank you so much.
Yes. Perhaps you might want to look around as you are navigators and pirates. Perhaps you can. Sorry, navigators and privateers. My apologies, slip of the tongue. Um, perhaps you would like to look around.
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah.
So this was the only place that was attacked by the pirates?
Well, they bombarded the town as well. Would you like to look at where they bombarded?
Yes.
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 It would be good to know how far they could shoot their cannons.
So you intend to
Tell
enter
us
the
something
town,
about them.
not just come here.
I sense
Is
another
that okay?
ritual. I sense another
Well,
ritual.
it would be good for us to get an idea of their armaments if we are to hunt them down for you. Just so we can be prepared.
Yeah.
It
How
does
many of
you
you
no
are willing
favors
to
if we are
purge your
sunk.
bodies so that you might enter our town?
What would that
Oh.
entail?
Yes, define purge.
Well, I mean, we give you some things that make sure that you carry no internal diseases.
A nice mercury-based thing to purge.
Perhaps some of your people could bring the cannon shot outside of the walls.
No, I don't think that'll work either. We can't touch the cannonballs, you understand?
They are impure after all.
Can you carry them like in a basket? Or like,
We could carry them in a basket. This is not a bad idea. Perhaps we could lay down cloth and you could walk on the cloth if you find it so inconvenient to be purged.
We do find it very inconvenient to be purged. Absolutely. Cloth, great idea.
Yes,
Out
okay.
of curiosity,
Yes.
what do you use to purge outsiders?
Oh, we have a range of purgatives that we like to use. A local semi-toxic plant we found is very effective at emptying the body of all possible disease-bearing things. It can be quite uncomfortable. I've been led to understand. I myself have not had to experience it, as I am, of course, one of the shriven, unlike yourselves, who are unbelievers. But perhaps we can arrange for you to have cloth laid down in front of you so that you might not touch our ground and therefore potentially risk disease.
Can't
It
we
does
just make
seem
cloth booties?
No, sir. We will lay down cloth in front of you that you walk on.
Yeah.
Okay.
it does seem
Got a
wiser
ritual for
than
that.
poisoning us and hoping we survive.
Yeah.
Very few people have died while undergoing the purge, sir.
Very few does not mean zero.
And I assume that this purge leaves the body somewhat weakened, and if we are to go after the pirates, then that would not be the preferable.
This is
Yeah.
true. That is true. It would make you less capable of hunting the pirates. Yes, I think we will use the cloth.
A wonderful idea.
Yes.
Absolutely.
Quick, find the cloth. Claps his hands together. A couple of people rock up with what is basically 4 pieces of very long folded cloth, which they then unfurl. And you get and there's like about 8 of them, and 4 of them are in front of you and 4 of them are behind you. And as you move forward, the 4 in front of you lay the cloth down in front of you. The 4 behind you pick up the segment of cloth that you've walked over, and then run in front and then put it in front of the piece, so that you're in this constant moving situation with 8 people running around you laying cloth down.
And they're not thinking about the fact that they're now touching the contaminated cloth.
So it doesn't
Okay,
have to make
cool.
sense.
Well, obviously it's blessed cloth.
Yeah,
Hmm.
it's holy cloth.
That goes without saying.
Yeah,
Like it cannot carry disease.
Yeah, they've already splashed it with the holy saline solution. Sprayed it and everything. It's all good. There is no disease. They know salt stops disease. They're not completely.
Oh, good.
Okay.
No.
So some of you can go into the city, some of you can have a look around, around the graveyard. The people who go to the city, just to give you a hint, it would be better to be people who understand ships and weapons, because you're kind of going to go and have a look at the cannons and other things and make some decisions about that. The people who stay in the graveyard might be better to be medical and sort of people with survival skill and medical skill and law skill, to give you a hint. So who's going
Alright.
into the city on that basis?
I will go to the city then.
Yeah.
Max, do you want to come too?
Yeah, I'm guessing I could use marksmanship in place of actually having any brains, because I don't have those.
What about
Got
you,
melee
Lorenzo?
and
You've got good battle skills.
I've
marksmanship.
got good battle skill, and I've got
Battle.
yeah. I'll go to the city.
All right. So the two scholarly types are left at the graveyard and avoid the moving feast that is the cloths rotating model. You guys go. So you're escorted into the city, and it's very clear you're being escorted. There are militia walking with you to make sure you don't step off the cloth, because obviously if you step off the cloth, it's all bad.
Yeah.
So they take you into the city. You've got the revolving thing. Do you want to make a battle skill, or be another good skill to use? I think.
I'm just imagining if we have to actually chase anybody. How fast can these cloth people go?
You're only as fast as the slowest cloth guy.
That's right.
Yeah, so battle, marksmanship, a
Right.
little bit of like law would still be of use, but specifically thinking about how ships work. Angelique actually is a sea spouse, so yeah, you're pretty good with watery things in general. So, all right. So make for me battle rolls for those of you who have battle. If you don't, you can make that marksmanship roll that you wanted to, Sean.
Yep.
Oh my god! Somebody rolled 3 6s,
Someone
Oh,
did
damn.
roll 3 6s. Yeah, on
and it
5
wasn't me.
dice. Okay.
That would be me,
Yes.
Yeah,
it
impressive.
was.
I think.
All right. So you have a look at the cannon, the weapons that were used, and it's pretty obvious that just looking at the way the cannons have dispersed and the size of the cannons, that they're not big caliber, they're reasonably small caliber, so they're 12-pounder or less, which means these aren't from big warships. These are from exactly the sort of ship that you sail, maybe even smaller.
Yep.
There were 2 of them, though. You're pretty sure there were 2 ships that did the assault, just from the way the cannons are spread. The cannonballs are spread, and no, that's most of what you discover.
Okay. Cool.
Right.
2 ships. Our size or slightly smaller. Right.
Okay. The two
sloops,
people.
for example.
Sorry.
Like 2 sloops, for example,
Yeah, like 2 sloops.
which we might have seen 2 sloops anchored.
Wow, you are so
Maybe.
fucking suspicious. Anyway,
How I stay alive.
all right. So over on the picking through the graveyards team. So do you guys want to make either survival rolls or lore rolls?
I'll do lore because I'm much better in that.
Yeah, same here.
All
I'm
right.
sure this won't bite us in the arse in any way.
Nope, we'll be fine.
Not at all.
Will you tell Jasper to go get
Okay.
I'll take it.
All right. So between the two of you, you got 3 successes, which is heaps.
Mhm.
So, a couple of things. You actually find some of the relics, like some remains of some relics, because they weren't all sort of stolen. Some were broken. Gives you a bit of a hint of what's been taken. Basically, you're pretty sure that this type of material sells well in the irate to sorry, not the irate, to the Federated Territories. The irate won't go near this stuff. So this stuff sells well in the Federated Territories because it's kind of, look, indigenous art, sort of stuff. Not that I actually own quite a bit of indigenous art, but anyway, let's not dwell. So it's like they're collecting from other cultures and putting it in places. So you do know that this stuff sells reasonably well to that sort of crowd, and just by looking around, you can tell that these guys probably didn't know they didn't have a. They've kind of done a smash and grab, right? So some of the things you find that are broken, you're going, wow, that would have been worth a heap. So they've kind of just done a smash and grab, right? So they may not have particularly understood what was very valuable and what wasn't very valuable, which gives you the sense that these guys weren't professionals at grave robbing, certainly. Yeah.
I like that.
All right.
The more crime of opportunity, if you could say that.
Yeah, I mean, they obviously came here for a reason, because there's no way they just rocked up. This. You have already experienced enough of this place to know people don't come here for fun. They would only be here for a purpose. But what you do, but it's more that it's to you. It feels like a bunch of people were told, "Oh, there's valuable stuff over here." They went. They didn't really know what was or wasn't valuable, and so they've just grabbed a bunch of stuff and basically made a break for it.
Right.
Yeah.
Makes sense.
So we're not dealing with
So who
the.
has visited them in the past? Because, yeah.
And what were you going to say, Sarah?
All right, so let's ask the keeper then. Like, who do they get visits from normally? Who trades with them normally?
Oh,
We've got to have a salt supply.
No, we extract it from the ocean water. We have great salt pans that we use. We have a few traders who come and go, who have agreed to be appropriately cleansed. Although few sadly enter the city, but yes, but they make their own choices. None of the shriven, of course, leave the city, so only those who come here.
Right.
So can I get an insight roll, please, from someone who's got a halfway D? Generally, by the way, in year 0, you tend to pick one person to make the roll. Other people can assist, which means they get bonus die, but you don't tend to all roll, if that makes sense.
Yeah, I've got
Gotcha.
4.
Depends on the scenario, of course. Like if you're all sneaking, then it's all sneaking. But
Yeah. All right, Mags. They're lying. Tell us what they're lying about. Ooh, 6.
They're lying about something.
they're lying about something. Yep. So you get the feeling. So when you asked about, does anyone come and go, there was definitely a sense that he was holding back. Like there were a couple of very significant looks in his direction from some of the militia. Like, is he gonna say it? Kind of looks, and then he didn't.
Right.
Who do you trade with? Where do you get your outside?
It is not so much that. Look, I will admit that, like all people of faith, every now and then we have someone leave the faith, fail to adhere to our beliefs. And one of those people, a ferric, who left us several years ago, has failed to sort of return.
All right. So this ferret he left a few years ago. Have you heard anything of what he's been up to since?
Well, no. I mean, we would not be interested in his activities. He has broken with the faith. He is excluded from our presence.
No letters might have passed between him and his family.
Well, surely not. I mean, after all, he has been, he has broken with the faith.
Right. I'm gonna.
All right, so it's 10:30, which is probably my pumpkining time, considering I was up at 5 a.m. 2 days in a row. So I'm gonna stop it there if that's okay with you guys.